Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's new hatchback, the new Model Y in the US, EV battery replacement stats, and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Recurrent for sponsoring this video. First up today, there's a common misconception about EV batteries that they fail more frequently than gasoline engines and need to be replaced more often. Battery replacements do happen, but they are nowhere near as common as many may think. Now, a new study from Recurrent shows that these batteries rarely ever fail outside of official recalls. Battery technology has improved drastically in the last decade and continues to do so. The study looks at vehicle data gathered from around 15,000 rechargeable vehicles, model years ranging from 2011 to 2023. According to that data, battery replacements due to failure outside of recalls were much more frequent in model years before 2016. The most frequent battery failures came from the oldest model year batteries. 2011 saw a 7.5% failure rate, but even the very next year managed to cut that way down. Between 2012 and 2015, the failure rate was between 1.6% and 4.4%. Looking at specific models, this data is of course representing the two models that were most widely available at the time, the Tesla Model S and Nissan Leaf. By 2016, though, there was a huge drop-off. Only around 0.5% of batteries were replaced due to failure. Of course, these vehicles are still under warranty in a lot of cases and aren't even 10 years old yet, but the data is promising regardless. There has been a huge effort since 2011 to make batteries last longer and fail less often. Features like active liquid battery cooling, new thermal management systems, and new battery chemistries have done a lot to extend the life of the battery. From this graph, we can definitely see a downward trend, suggesting this failure rate is going to continue to improve over time, as batteries and the systems to manage them continue to incrementally improve over the years. I'll be curious to see how well these 2016 batteries hold up as they get older, and then especially curious to see when we finally start seeing Model 3 and Model Y replacements become necessary. Will it be earlier than some expect or later? I imagine later, and then we'll see recycling programs really ramping up. That should be an exciting time for battery replacement costs coming down. Next up today, there's a lot of speculation and rumor going around about the state of Tesla's next vehicle project. For a while, we've expected an entirely new vehicle based on Tesla's next-gen platform. At their investor day, they detailed all the various ways this vehicle would come down in cost, including their unboxed assembly process. Now, however, Tesla has very much changed their tune. They are both delaying this car and planning to bring it out earlier in a sense. Underlying all of this is the fact that Tesla primarily earns their money today as an automaker. The Model Y has become the best-selling vehicle in the world, yet every time they ship a car that is exactly what the market wants, it becomes pretty clear that Elon Musk isn't that excited about it. You can see it in his energy at events like the Model Y unveil. This car is exactly what the market needed, clearly, but it wasn't, quote, exciting to someone like Elon, since it was essentially a larger Model 3. This is somewhat detailed in Elon's biography, along with his feelings when seeing prototypes for the next-gen vehicle. Many people just want a basic electric car with good functionality at a reasonable price point, but Elon wants to change the landscape. That, combined with Tesla's recent progress in full self-driving software, has led Tesla to shift their focus to a dedicated robotaxi. A full unveil there is coming August 8th, and it seems Tesla is saving much of their new technology for that car. This will be a fully dedicated new vehicle using their unboxed assembly process. In the meantime, however, Tesla has told us that, quote, "We have updated our future vehicle lineup to accelerate the launch of new models ahead of our previously communicated start of production in the second half of 2025. These new vehicles, including more affordable models, will utilize aspects of the next generation platform, as well as aspects of our current platforms, and will be able to be produced on the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle lineup. This will allow them to get new, affordable vehicles out the door and scaling in a more advanced timeline." There has been a lot of speculation that the first vehicle Tesla is speaking of here is the updated Model Y Juniper. Tesla just upgraded the Model 3 with a lot of new features and manufacturing changes to make it cheaper to make. The same is expected soon for the Model Y, but maybe Tesla is now working on taking this one step further, adding in next-gen platform changes. That's one theory, but another has to do with tax credits. Today, the Model 3 Performance is the only trim that qualifies for a $7,500 tax credit for the Model 3. All trims of the Model Y qualify, and this all has to do with battery sourcing. For a future affordable vehicle, Tesla would absolutely want it and need it to qualify for the tax credit, and Troy Teslike has some great analysis on this front. He said, quote, "From what I understand, the compact car has been postponed until 2028. Instead, Tesla will likely release a Model 3 hatchback in 2025, which will be produced at Giga Texas and Giga Berlin. These two factories each have an annual excess capacity of 250,000 units. I think this new model will feature dual casting, a structural 4680 battery pack, a 48-volt electrical system, and steer-by-wire technology, and should cost about $2,000 less than the current Model 3. What would truly make this even more affordable would ultimately be that tax credit and a manufacturer credit that 4680 cells would specifically qualify for on Tesla's end. Quote, the new Model 3 hatchback with 4680 cells will qualify. That drops the price to $31,500. Also, Tesla gets a $45 per kilowatt hour tax credit for 4680 cell production. It's called the Advanced Manufacturing Tax Credit. For a 62 kilowatt hour battery, that's 62 times 45, which equals $2,790. That would bring its cost under $30,000. There are a lot of signs pointing to this being accurate. For one, Tesla designed Giga Texas and Berlin to produce a dual casting Model Y with 4680 cells, quote, but they canceled those changes because 4680 cell production was too low. Now only the Cybertruck uses 4680 cells. So while those two factories aren't set up to build Model 3s as produced today, quote, they can produce a Model 3 with dual casting. One slight twist there is the fact that we may have seen one run of Model 3s come out of Giga Texas a few weeks back. That could have been something else or them doing some initial testing before shifting this car to a hatchback. Ultimately, it seems that while Tesla's public-facing focus will be the robotaxi, especially coming from Elon, they are planning to make newer, more affordable vehicles on their existing assembly lines. That means that they will share a lot with the current Model 3 or Model Y, so a Model 3 hatchback does make a ton of sense here. This would be the ideal car for a lot of people I know, and them utilizing their increasing 4680 cell production could be a part of what makes this more affordable. Ultimately, it may not hit that $25,000 price target, especially without a tax credit based on Troy's calculations, but this does fall in line with Tesla's report, saying this update may result in achieving less cost reduction than previously expected. On top of Tesla's own 4680 production, Panasonic, LG Chem, and CATL to a degree are expected to be producing 4680 cells in the near future, so this seems to be an extremely likely scenario. While many are disappointed to hear of Tesla canceling their brand new dedicated $25,000 EV, we could actually see Tesla release the quote boring car that tons of people actually want and can afford. I'm excited to see whatever this is, along with the Cybercab. That robotaxi unveil will happen in August, and then their first cheaper vehicle is expected by early 2025. What do you think it will be though? A Model 3 hatchback or the Juniper Model Y at a reduced price? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up, let's talk about today's sponsor, Recurrent. Recurrent is a free platform designed by battery scientists to analyze your EV's range and battery. EV drivers can connect their car for daily owner insights, and they currently have around 20,000 active vehicles for 50 plus makes and models in all 50 states. Here's a sample report for a 2023 Tesla Model Y, which details this car's expected range, real-world range, range in 3 years, how much time is left on the warranty, and more. When it's time to sell or trade in, EV sellers can now use their Recurrent info to sell their car for more by showing their range and battery are strong. Recurrent's network of dealerships pays a premium for these cars, and I had success using this early on when selling my 2018 Model 3. The buyer beat all online offers and came to my house to pick up the Model 3. With their service, the EV owner makes more money, and for large auto auctions, they've found that including Recurrent battery insights increased the average sale price by $1,400 and helped cars sell faster. If you're looking to buy your first EV, shoppers can check the range, battery, and tax credit eligibility on tens of thousands of used EVs for free with Recurrent reports. It's free for consumers, no data is ever shared without consent, and battery data is handled securely with end-to-end encryption. With Recurrent, we can buy, drive, and sell electric cars positively. So check them out by clicking the link in the description below. Next up today, there's officially a new color option for the Model Y in the US. Quicksilver was first introduced in Germany, coming from Tesla's new paint shop at Giga Berlin. This is their all-new, highly pigmented, metallic paint that is designed to change appearance depending on viewing angle and light, using up to 13 layers of paint. Then a few weeks ago, we started to see Model Ys that appeared to be painted Quicksilver, filling up the holding lots at Giga Texas. Now these Model Ys appear to be available through Tesla's inventory page. So far, it looks like only long-range and performance models are being offered in this color. Beyond that, you can choose between 19-inch Gemini wheels or 20-inch induction wheels, and black or white interior options. The most affordable one right now is a long-range model starting at $49,990 or $42,490 after the federal tax credit. That's the same price as the long-range model in the configurator if you opt for the $2,000 Ultra Red or solid black paint options. Considering this is a rare color in the US, that could be seen as a pretty good deal. This color hasn't been added to the configurator yet, so if I had to guess, this is likely a test batch that Tesla produced that they're now selling off. At the time I'm making this video, I only see about 8 models available, so they're only selling them in very small numbers for now. At the same time, Giga Shanghai is also producing this color and has been exporting them in large numbers. It's only a matter of time before this color is added to the US configurator officially, and it'll be good to start seeing a new color on the road. I'm wondering if this will be an addition to the Stealth Gray, or if it'll replace it entirely. If it's the latter, we may see white return as the included color with no upgrade charge, but they just introduced Stealth Gray, so it seems like this will be a new additional color, and soon Tesla may have 6 color options in the US. Next up today, Tesla has given an exciting update on the progress of their own 4680 batteries. These are the batteries manufactured in-house by Tesla, first announced in 2020, promising lower costs, increased range, and faster charging. Currently, Tesla is manufacturing these cells to supplement their suppliers, and we've seen them in the Model Y for a period, and now the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is made using these 4680 cells, but all of their other vehicles are using cells from LG, Panasonic, and CATL. We've been hearing rumors for a while now about Tesla's struggles to actually achieve these lowered costs, but it looks like 2024 may be the year. In Tesla's Q1 2024 results, they announced 4680 production was staying ahead of the Cybertruck ramp, and that costs were continuing to go down. On the call, Lars Moravy, Vice President of Vehicle Engineering, elaborated on that, saying, quote, 4680 production increased about 18%, 20% over from Q4. They're now making more 4680 cells than they need for the Cybertruck. This could be something the Cybertruck continues catching up to, or it could mean that they soon reintroduce the Model Y with these cells. What's more interesting though is that he went on to say, our goal, and we expect to do this, is to beat supplier cost on nickel-based cells by the end of the year. This even came after Tesla talked about how much supplier cell cost has come down, thanks to reduced orders from competitors. Nickel-based cells have higher energy density than LFP and are used in EVs with longer ranges, but most of Tesla's vehicles run on LFP at this point. If Tesla's goal is to compete with nickel-based cell manufacturers, we could see a future where Tesla is not only making these cells for their own vehicles, but other automakers as well. That said, it still could take some time for Tesla to get there, as their focus is on supplementing their own supply. At the very least, this is great news for Tesla, as the cost of these batteries is only going to continue to decrease over time. What will really be great for the 4680 program is if they can make it more cost-effective than the LFP cells currently powering their standard range vehicles, and if they can catch up on charging speed, which is one place the 4680s are still lacking today. Next up today, while we've talked a lot about Tesla's rough start to the year, the automaker is taking some big steps that give us insight into how they are going to respond. In Q1 of this year, Tesla delivered about 387,000 vehicles, which was an 8.5% decline over the same quarter of 2023. There are a lot of reasons behind the sales slowdown, including the ramp of the new Model 3, the increasing availability of competing EVs, and more, but Tesla had warned that this was coming for a while now. They have talked a lot about how they are between growth waves right now, and as such, the company is making some big moves to ensure their success during the next wave. One of those ways seems to be the stockpiling of resources that will be used to power their upcoming vehicles. A Korean news outlet has reported that Tesla made some huge battery purchases in Q1 from one of their biggest suppliers, LG Energy Solutions. In fact, Tesla supposedly bought so many batteries that LG's cylindrical battery sales rose 30% over the previous quarter. That's a huge purchase and is clearly a sign that Tesla is making some big plans for the future. The company is planning to unveil the robotaxi in August of this year, and they are still reportedly working on their affordable EV in some capacity, although we don't know to what degree those projects are separate. Either way, Tesla's next vehicle should be a huge mass-market vehicle, and it's going to require a ton of battery supply in order to maintain production. This move could be a sign that Tesla is stocking up on batteries now, while prices are lower, to eventually utilize them in the robotaxi or other vehicles. Or they could simply be stocking up for a much better Q2. What's interesting is that LG is Tesla's supplier for their nickel manganese cobalt batteries, which is primarily used in Tesla's higher-end vehicles. It's the Chinese company CATL that primarily makes the LFP battery cells that Tesla uses in their more affordable base models. If these are truly being used for the robotaxi and affordable EV, it's interesting that they are choosing these cells over the cheaper LFP ones. Perhaps this is a sign that Tesla is prioritizing range and energy density over 100% charging and cheaper battery pricing for that car, if that's what these are for. A robotaxi would be doing a lot of driving all day, so it would make sense that it would require the longer ranges associated with NMC batteries. Either way, Tesla is clearly working on some big things behind the scenes. The robotaxi is going to be a major development for the company, and Tesla is betting big on it being a success. I can't wait to see how this project pans out and to learn more about this vehicle in the coming months leading up to its full unveil on August 8th. Before then, though, we could see why Tesla made such a large order here, if it's just related to their current vehicles or not. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. In Q1 of this year, Hyundai became the second best-selling EV brand in the US, surpassed only by Tesla. While many other legacy automakers have been wishy-washy on EVs, Hyundai has fully committed itself to electrification. One of the ways they are doing that is by completely rethinking the base materials that cars are made of. Hyundai has recently announced a partnership with Toray Industries, a world leader in carbon fiber technology, to develop new materials for their cars. Carbon fiber is an extremely strong, lightweight material that, if implemented, could do a lot to improve the battery and motor performance of an EV. If Hyundai is able to leverage these materials into greatly improving the efficiency of their cars, that would give them a huge boost in the market. Electric cars, as they are now, are generally much heavier than their ICE equivalents, due in part to their heavy batteries. Dramatically decreasing those weights could improve range and conversely allow you to travel the same distance using smaller batteries or more distance on the same batteries. That could have a big impact on the vehicle's price in the end. This partnership is new and may not lead to any major products for a while, but it is exciting to see how much Hyundai is working to improve and ship great electric options. Range is one of the key features of an EV that all the major automakers are constantly trying to improve and expand on. For a while now, though, one car has held the title for the longest range EV in the US, the Lucid Air Grand Touring. Lucid has just unveiled the 2024 version of that car, and it comes with some pretty cool improvements, but in a cheaper package. The new 2024 Air Grand Touring preserves its record-breaking 516-mile range, but comes with some impressive new features that make this car even more usable. First, the GT model borrows the heat pump design from its more expensive cousin, the Air Sapphire, which will allow it to travel more efficiently even in very cold environments. They have redesigned the car's motors, battery chemistry, and thermal features to ensure this car is the most energy efficient it has ever been in all climates. In addition, this car now features DC charging rates 15 to 30% higher than the previous model. This new version also features automatic preconditioning while navigating to a charger, so you can plug in and charge as quickly as possible. In addition to all of these improvements, the new Grand Touring comes at a pretty big discount. You can now purchase this car for $109,900, a 12.5% price cut from the previous version. Lucid has maintained a pretty slow pace for production and deliveries, but they are planning on building 9,000 vehicles in 2024. Between this car and their upcoming Gravity SUV, Lucid is trying to get more vehicles into the market so that they can expand into a similar trajectory as Tesla. I can't wait to see these cars continue to go down in price and to see how Lucid continues to grow. While Toyota may have been slow to enter the EV market, they're looking to expand their lineup with upcoming electric versions of some of their most popular vehicles. Currently, Toyota sells two EVs in the US, the BZ4X and Lexus RZ, and for a while, those seemed to be the only cars they were looking to sell. Instead, Toyota has been pursuing a mixed powertrain approach, choosing to offer hybrids, BEVs, and even hydrogen-powered vehicles. Ultimately, though, many customers view full EVs as the way forward, and Toyota is having to respond. The general manager of Toyota USA announced that the company would be producing a fully electric Toyota Highlander sometime soon. This car will likely be built out of their Kentucky factory, making it their first US-built electric vehicle. Down the line, Toyota is also exploring the possibility of building an electric version of the Tacoma and Tundra pickup trucks, as well as a potential compact car. While Toyota is choosing to first expand their PHEV lineup, even they have to accept that fully electric vehicles are the future. Toyota is one of the most popular automakers in the world, and they stand to lose a lot if they don't hop onto the EV train while we're still at the beginning. If not, by the time they realize making good electric cars is not optional, then it may be too late for them to catch up. They do take a lot of time and a lot of engineering to come to pass. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see a roundup of all the competition coming Tesla's way, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.